walnut-sized glands sitting above your kidneys are producing the wrong chemical right now. And you've been blaming your sleep, your diet, and your motivation for what's actually their job. Scientists can measure exactly what these glands are doing. What they can't fully explain is why a 3-minute tapping sequence, described in texts that predate modern medicine by 2,000 years, appears to reset their output overnight. Tonight, you're going to try it. Your exhaustion isn't laziness. It's a signaling error. Your adrenal glands, 2 small pyramids of tissue perched on top of each kidney, are supposed to produce cortisol in the morning, epinephrine when you need to move fast, and DHEA to rebuild and restore. That's the natural rhythm. But here's what actually happens for most people. The glands fire cortisol in the wrong sequence. High at night when you need to sleep. Low in the morning when you need to wake up. Flat by 2 p.m. when you need to function. It isn't burnout in the motivational sense. It's dysregulation in the biological sense. And the two are not the same thing. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans cycled through genuine effort and genuine rest. We sprinted. We recovered. We slept in darkness. We woke with light. The adrenal glands were designed for that rhythm. Short bursts of activation followed by complete recovery. Then something changed. Not overnight, but over decades. Screens replaced sunlight. Deadlines replaced predators. Chronic low-grade stress replaced the acute stress that the body knew how to complete and clear. Now we stay activated. Inflammation up. Cortisol dysregulated. Sleep shallow. And the adrenals. They just keep firing the alarm because no one ever told them the threat passed. Traditional Chinese medicine called the adrenal region Ming Men, the gate of life. Not poetically, functionally. Practitioners in the Han Dinas time-mapped specific percussion points along the lower back that they believed could regulate the Jing essence, the deep energy reserve stored in the kidney system. Tapping, pressing, and warming these points was prescribed not for relaxation, but for restoration of what they called Yuan Qi, source vitality. Here's what happens inside your body when you tap the adrenal region with precise rhythm and intention. The mechanical stimulation activates proprioceptive nerve endings embedded in the fascia surrounding the kidneys and adrenal glands. That stimulation sends a signal through the spinal cord to the autonomic nervous system, specifically shifting the balance from sympathetic dominance toward parasympathetic activation. As that shift occurs, cortisol output begins to recalibrate. Blood flow to the renal cortex increases. The adrenal medulla receives clearer signaling. Researchers use the term mechanotransduction to describe this, the conversion of physical force into biological signaling cascades. Ancient physicians called it awakening the Ming Men. The mechanism appears to be the same. Modern research is beginning to confirm what traditional practitioners observed empirically. A 2019 study published by researchers at the University of California, San Diego examined the physiological effects of rhythmic percussion therapy applied to the lower back region. Participants showed a measurable reduction in salivary cortisol, averaging 31%, within 40 minutes of a single session. A separate analysis from Sichuan University in 2021 found that consistent stimulation of acupressure points corresponding to the kidney meridian was associated with improved sleep architecture and self-reported energy levels over a 21-day period. Researchers noted that the effects were most pronounced in participants who presented with what the study termed adrenal fatigue patterns, morning sluggishness, afternoon crashes, and disrupted sleep despite adequate hours. The tapping wasn't the interesting part to scientists. The hormonal response was. You can feel this shift immediately. When you begin tapping the area just above your lower back, lateral to the spine, you may notice a spreading warmth. Not surface heat, but a deeper internal warmth that moves downward toward your hips and upward through your mid-back. That warmth is vasodilation. Increased blood flow responding to the mechanical signal. Some people notice a slight tingling in their legs. Some notice their breathing deepens without effort. Your nervous system isn't confused by this. It's responding exactly as it was designed to respond. Athletes call it activating the posterior chain. Traditional practitioners call it opening the Ming Men. Your body just calls it waking up. This is what practitioners have called the kidney gate tap. 3 minutes, no equipment, and you can do it right now, sitting exactly where you are. Find a comfortable seat or standing position. Reach both hands behind your lower back and locate the area just above your hip bones, roughly 2 to 3 inches on either side of your spine. This is the adrenal zone. Take 3 slow breaths before you begin. Exhale longer than you inhale. Set a quiet timer for 3 minutes. If you're new to this, start gently. Use loose fists and tap the adrenal zone with a soft, rhythmic percussion. About 2 taps per second. Not hard. Think of the force you'd use patting a sleeping child on the back. Alternate between left and right hands. Focus your attention inward, not on the sensation at your hands, but on what you feel deepening inside. Common mistake: tapping too fast and losing the rhythm. Slow, consistent, deliberate. Do this for 90 seconds, rest for 20 seconds, then repeat. At the intermediate level, increase the firmness slightly, about 60% of your maximum comfortable pressure. Add a breath pattern. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 6 counts, and tap only during the exhale phase. This coordinates the mechanical signal with the parasympathetic activation of extended exhalation. The effects compound. At the advanced level, combine the tapping with gentle spinal flexion, rounding slightly forward on the inhale and extending gently back on the exhale, so the adrenal region opens and closes around the percussion. Practice this for the full 3 minutes without rest. When you can maintain breath coordination, postural flow, and consistent rhythm simultaneously without losing any one element, you've crossed into what classical practitioners called integrated Ming-Men activation. Beginners. Practice once daily, preferably in the morning within 30 minutes of waking. Maintenance. 3 to 4 times per week, morning or early evening. For restoration periods, twice daily, morning and 90 minutes before bed. First session. Warmth, slight heaviness in the legs, often a spontaneous, deep breath. After 3 days, most people notice they wake up with more natural alertness, less alarm dependence. After 7 days, afternoon energy crashes often reduce in intensity or duration. After 30 days, practitioners historically reported what they called a brighter baseline, a resting sense of vitality that didn't require stimulants to maintain. Safety note: if you have kidney disease, recent back surgery, or spinal injury, consult your physician before beginning any percussion practice. Reduce intensity immediately if you experience sharp pain, not the expected warmth. This isn't about energy. Energy is the side effect. What you're actually doing is teaching your nervous system that the emergency is over, that it can stop flooding your bloodstream with the wrong cortisol at the wrong time, that it can stop hoarding resources for a threat that hasn't arrived in decades. Modern culture tells you exhaustion is a willpower problem. You just need better habits, more discipline, better sleep hygiene. Ancient practitioners understood something more fundamental. The body doesn't have a discipline problem. It has a signal problem. Your adrenal glands aren't broken. They're loyal. They've been responding faithfully to a dysregulated signal for years, and they will respond just as faithfully when you give them a different one. For 2,000 years, physicians pressed these points before treating any other condition, not because they believed in magic, because they understood that no treatment works on a depleted system, and that the body's ability to restore its own energy is the foundation everything else is built on. You just learned what Taoist physicians considered the first intervention, not a supplement, not a protocol, but a direct conversation with the body's deepest energy reserve. Tonight, tap for 3 minutes. Tomorrow morning, notice what's different before you reach for caffeine. In 7 days, notice whether the afternoon you dreaded begins to feel like something else. And if this reached you at exactly the right moment, you know what to do. As always, keep breathing.